Now it is the time for the government. Governance is governed by the governed. Abi? So the governor will do us a great favor. Our keynote speaker is still hanging in the air. So we take him whenever he appears. But then we must continue because the deputy governor is busy. So we call on His Excellency, the deputy governor of your state, to please declare this conference open, sir.
Before I present the address of His Excellency, the Executive Governor for your state, Senator Abiola Ajibobi, let me first of all thank everybody in this hall for making a positive change in Nigeria. I believe that the change will be positive to every Nigerian in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. I also want to thank the people of Oyo State, particularly those who are here, for making us to break the jinx of not governing the state twice. I think we are broken the jinx. And I believe that the change will also be positive to the people of Oyo State in particular and to Nigeria in general. Let me recognize the chairman of this occasion, Professor Emmanuel Eboga, OON. And after that, please permit me to recognize my lecturer in management. I don't know whether he can recognize me. Professor Gaba. She was my lecturer in the master's level in 2002, 2003. I hope you can recognize me, ma'am. Thank you very much. The Vice Chancellor of the Premier University, Professor Adewale, ably represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Admin, Professor Ayelari. The 2015 IAEE President-elect, Professor Gakman Umibag. Please forgive me for the bad pronunciation. I also want to recognize NAEE President, Professor Adiola Adeniki. 2014 IAEE President, Professor Wumi Iledari. I also want to recognize the Executive Director, IAEE, Professor David Williams. Also Professor Iwayemi, I think of the Department of Economics. Also the paper presenters, I recognize you, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor and privilege being here as a special guest of honor at this 8th Annual International Conference of the Nigeria Association of Energy Economics, holding in the University of Ibadan between 26th and 28th April 2015. The choice of this year's conference of the professional body of the energy economics is not only relevant but most appropriate, considering the challenges Nigeria and other oil-dependent countries are facing as a result of the dynamics in the global energy market. Given the pedigrees of the various lead paper presenters and other scholars who will be presenting reports of their research works during this conference, I am convinced the aim of this year's conference be future energy options, assessment, formulation, and an implementation will be achieved. Apart from the set objectives, issues and problems that on the agenda to form the conference proceedings this gathering of energy scholars will eventually help set agenda for governments across the globe and energy challenges all over the world. Sometimes the recognition of pressing issues is sufficient to give attention to such challenges on the policy agenda of the government anywhere in the world. As a matter of fact, oil and energy issues require greater attention in international politics, for several developing countries of the world depend on crude petroleum as major sources of the government revenue. By implication, investments of any government in oil and energy, in my view, will have significant main effects on people's standard of living and in measuring the general economic performance of nations in the world. The global energy challenges, therefore, will not be an exclusive responsibility of government alone. It needs serious attention and involvement of other stakeholders or key players in oil and energy politics. In essence, energy productivity in particular is particularly important to developing countries. An efficient use of energy is indeed the cornerstone of a more sustainable energy system in the world. With the current global oil and energy challenges, Nigeria needs to ensure paradigm shift from over-dependence on oil through diversification of the economy. Of course, near monolithic structure of the nation's economy, in my view, cannot guarantee the desired sustainable development. This is because energy system has been profoundly shaped by the same kind of technological, political, and economic forces which is currently affecting the world in so many ways. However, the more desired and projected world's energy future is still bereft of the kind of vision found in many other areas, and this obviously calls for international dialogue or conferences of this nature, where experts can come together to discuss and evolve agenda for a viable energy strategy. There's no way Nigeria and other countries of the world can successfully address the trend in the global oil market without strategic measures. This conference will do a great service to the global energy demand if scholars, industry players, policy formulators, and implementers that are here gathered will involve agenda and policy initiatives to help the developing countries harness and develop alternative sources of energy to match the demand for and supply of energy across the global markets. It is against this background that I declare this conference open. I also wish the participants very fruitful deliberations and once again welcome you to the serene environment of the Nigeria Premier University, the University of Ibadan, and the Bay Center State, or your state of Nigeria. I thank everybody for listening. I wish you safe journey back to your destinations at the end of the conference. Thank you very much.
I appreciate the governor. I appreciate the deputy governor. I appreciate Oyo State. I appreciate the Southwest. I appreciate Nigeria. Say no to xenophobia. Thank you very much. Thinking of xenophobia, if you look at the issue of Nigeria, it's like we practiced it a little bit, you know. So let us show love to ourselves across the divide. Quickly, there's an amendment. We'll have some presentations before we rise and close this occasion, this opening ceremony. There'll be presentation, and certain distinguished persons shall be honored here with presentation. And permit me to decide, there are sometimes you are caught in the air, you have to take decisions. But according to land control, as I've been told, that will be done between two gentlemen. We have a presentation for the owner and ruler of where we are right now by election. We are talking of the governor of Oyo State. And this will be done by Professor Akin Iwayemi, our past president, NAEE. That's a presentation. Please, can we have that for the governor? The presentation for the governor, who has it? For being a present and future encourager of NAEE, and for standing by us. We're presenting this to you, sir, and to Oyo State in general. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. The next recipient is Dr. Emmanuel Ebuga, our mentor, our sustainer perpetual, the chairman of Emerald Resource. It will be done by Professor Wumi Iledare, the 2014 IAEE president. I chose him deliberately because in spite of all he has put on his body, he's wearing the resource control cap. And we're talking of Port Harcourt. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We want a lady presenter now. And the 2015 IAEE President-elect, Professor Gökhan Kumbaroglu, will be presented a gift by Professor Kesi Garba. A round of applause for the chief, the only chief here, Chief Economic Advisor to the President. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, that's him. That's your recipient. Thank you very much. You have not clapped enough. That's the only woman presenter. I told you, clap 3 times for the woman, so that there will be food in your house. Thank you very much. After all this, you make sure the house is fed. You can imagine. These ladies must be paid extra salary. We are going to talk to the Labour Congress to make such a move. There is maternity leave now, so there should be extra income for mothers in homes. A round of applause for motherhood. Thank you very much. Now, that will be about all for now. Our host. I've always forgotten. Those of you who cannot speak Yoruba, go to Institute of African Studies. For University of Ibadan, the Vice Chancellor, This shall be presented this time around by Professor Ebuga, University of Ibadan, the Vice Chancellor. Thank you, sir. The University of Ibadan is the first, the best, and will continue to be the best in Jesus' name. Even if I say amen to that. I just know that you need new buildings, and God will provide the money. There will be sponsors, there will be collaborators. In fact, this university has done a lot in the life of this country. A round of applause for University College Ibadan. A round of applause for University of Ibadan. Thank you. But when you know Kenneth Dike and Co., you will know that this university has gone a long way. It has done its mileage and continue to move forward. So that's about it. So we are closing with a vote of thanks. Because we are now in democracy, we must continue to vote. Vote of thanks by the Vice President, Conference and Publication, NAEE, Dr. Mahmoud Azan, who we are lucky is not caught in the air this time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. His Excellency, the Governor of Oyo State, Executive Governor of Oyo State, Senator Ajimobi, ably represented by the Deputy Governor, His Excellency Otumba Moses Adeyemo, the Chairman of the occasion, Dr. Emmanuel Iboga, the President-elect of IAEE, first of all, the Vice Chancellor, our host, don't forget that. Vice Chancellor, our host, ably represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, Professor Eyilare. Sorry if I make a mistake there. The Executive Secretary of IAEE, David Williams, and past presidents of IAEE. Let me stand on existing protocols and just make a brief vote of thanks. Indeed, our vote of thanks cannot be exhaustive, but we'll try as much as possible to give recognition to those that deserve those recognitions. First and foremost, let us thank the Oyo State government, and this acknowledgement goes to the governor of the state through the deputy governor who represented him here. We indeed are very grateful for the nice reception we received there, the facilities that have been made available to us, and the courtesies that we've received from the protocol officers of the government. Indeed, that goes through to the University of Ibadan. Every year I've been going to the University of Ibadan here. I think at the University of Ibadan. My father attended this university, I think in the 50s. And those of us that did not go to the University of Ibadan, it just felt we are not well educated. And we have two of my brothers that also attended here, but I didn't attend here. But I congratulate the university for the receptions we received here. We thank you so much. Those of us that stayed in the UI hostel, it's as good as any, I don't want to give it any star, it's as good as any hotel you can stay in. It's quite neat, the facilities, everything is working, and we're indeed very grateful. The services we've seen here, halls we're getting here, and even when we paid the visit to the Vice Chancellor this morning, we also made that expression known. Let me also use this opportunity to thank our administrative facilitators, that is the IAEE, that is the parent body of the NAEE, for the administrative support that we've got, the facilities we've got, the online placements of our adverts and the programs and everything and invitations. Williams that also attended this event, and the president-elect came in all the way from the US. Thank you very much for attending this and for the support we've received from you. The eloquent attributes given to the chairman of this occasion, I cannot replicate that, but just to add to it, that you are a role model to a lot of us, And since I was still in school, when you were special advisor to the president, I've got very big admiration for you and for the things, your brilliance and the things you've done to the industry. And continually, your support to the energy sector in general, and particularly to the NAEE, and indeed the CIPAL Center and the Port Harcourt Emerald Center, all are attributes to you. Thank you very much indeed. Before I go to the financial sponsors, we have critical supporters of this event, and principal among them is the LOC. The LOC chairman, indeed, you've done a very wonderful work. This is the first time we're doing this outside of Abuja, and the facilities we have here, the organization, the reception desks, the administration were fantastic. I'm a member of that team also. So you did very, very well. Thank you very much for everything that has been an excellent organization. For our financial sponsors, my principal home, which is the Central Bank of Nigeria, is indeed well appreciated here. He's been a perennial supporter of the NAEE, and we are indeed very grateful. The lunch and the dinner, I think, are sponsored by the Central Bank of Nigeria. The same goes to the NNPC. They've also been our perennial supporter, financially and logistically. PPRA, Mrs. Ekwe is here, she's been driving that tremendously for us. We've been having support from them every year. Thank you very much. Minister of Power. The last time we did our conference in Abuja, the minister was actually present and stayed all through the plenary sessions. We are indeed very grateful to the ministries. We also have significant support from the major marketers associations, MOMAN, the Depot Petroleum Product Marketers Associations. The Energy Commission has also been very, very supportive. We thank you very much. The Energy Regulatory Commission, where we have to ECA, we've been very supportive of us. The NAPID, National Petroleum Investment Management Services, the private sector supporters, the Energia Limited, the Green Energy Limited, and then CIPAL, where the president of NAEE is the director. Then you have also our facilitators that we have here, the researchers, those that are going to present paper. You know, it took a lot of time to do this. I was also, when I was a student, I really participated in the IAEE conferences. And I know what it takes to prepare a paper and come and present it, transport yourself and that is what makes the conference. So indeed, we are very grateful to the facilitators and the presenters, the speakers. Indeed, we're also extending our gratitude to the students. It's a very large part of the association, and your involvement is what is quite required in this. Your research work that you do are going to be supported by the investors. These are the forums where you present your research work, and somebody will see, Dr. Eboga will see, oh, I'm going to give this guy a scholarship to do his PhD. And that's how you click. Some of us got it through that way. So you should keep it up, and we thank you very much. Try as much as possible to be involved in this. And after you leave your universities, finish your PhD or master's program, try to be engaged with any Professor Iledare, myself, every other person you see here, all started from the student platform. I also give my gratitude to on behalf of NAEE, to the media group here, the cameramen, the journalists, the media experts that are here. Thank you very much for attending this and giving it the appropriate coverage. The technical guys, those operating the speakers, those operating the facilities we have here, the lightings. Thank you very much. Without you guys, this cannot be successful. The young, beautiful ladies that are the ushers here, the reception desks, and everybody, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for having time to be here and for supporting us. Thank you.
Thank you to the tanker for thanking us. Thank you very much. It's what I like the Americans for. They created their own English. Not many work with Englishes. But Nigeria is afraid. Thanks the tanker. But looking at Trenchard Hall and looking at age and so many other things. It will be a crime to humanity if I bring all of you here. But then there's separation of powers. This is the executive, this is the legislature. So just to capture this moment, there will be group photograph in two forms. The council members of NAEE, please come upstairs and join the high table for a group photograph. Then everybody will now go downstairs to meet the people at the polls. They will take their own group photograph too. A round of applause for NAEE, for Nigeria, and for yourself. Group photograph, please. Can we have the high table here, joined by the council members, quickly. Time presses, Africa is in a haste. Yes, no, anybody that sits University of Ibadan chair is qualified. Please come up. Professor Lofin, you're on University of Ibadan chair. Please come up. You can see the chair. That's the logo. Please, madam.